Hey everyone, thank you for watching. In today's video I'm really excited to do. It's going to be a new foundation wear test, and the foundation that we are trying out today is this new one here from Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filt'r Hydrating Longwear Foundation. I'm really excited because Fenty Beauty actually did send this over to me to try out early, which is very cool, very exciting for me. So they sent over the foundation, also the new hydrating primer that released, their sponge, and also a kabuki brush. I have tried this foundation out before. I've worn it a few times now, just trying to test it out and get my thoughts on it. So I'm also going to be giving my review on it, but also showing a wear test too, so you can see kind of how it wears throughout the day. I'm going to go ahead and use the primer and also the foundation. I've worn this foundation without this primer as well, so it is going to be a review mixed in with my wear test because this is not a first impression. So I'm really excited about this. This video is not sponsored, but Fenty did send this over to me, which had me pretty stoked because I tried their first foundation, but because it is more of a mattifying foundation and I do have dry skin, I just couldn't get on with it. Most like very mattifying foundations I just don't think look great on me. I tend to go for a more natural finish or like a luminous finish foundation because of my particular skin type. So I have been waiting. I have said in past videos, whenever Fenty releases, you know, a hydrating foundation or a foundation kind of geared more towards dry skin folks, that I would be excited to try it out. So to get this one early and to test it out, to get my review up for you and also do this wear test just has me so very excited. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. So it is, let me tell you, I'm filming this on Saturday. I believe this is going to go up on Monday. And it is currently 10:32 in the a.m. First up, I'm going to use the primer. This is the Pro Filt'r Hydrating Primer. It also says soft silk on the back there. And I like this packaging on it. I'll do some close-ups too, but it's a nice glass bottle. It does have a pump. And then when you pull it out onto your fingers, it kind of has more of like this light pink look to it. There is a very, very light scent to it. I don't notice it a ton, and pretty much once I have it onto my skin, I don't notice it anymore. But it's a nice hydrating primer, but it also is smoothing at the same time. I noticed some smoothing properties with this, which I do appreciate because I do have some pores up in here. Oh, I do need to zoom you in. I got so excited. I always forget to zoom in. Okay, let's get nice and zoomed in here. But yeah, it does have a little bit of smoothing properties also, and there's just like a very little bit of tack with this one, which I kind of like too in my primers because I feel like it's kind of gripping onto the foundation. It's not as much as like the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, but just like a little bit of stick to the primer, which I do like. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the foundation. So it comes in this plastic bottle here, and then you do also have a pump on it. I chose out the shade 200, which is slightly light for me right now, but that's okay, we can make it work. But yeah, I chose out 200, and I am gonna go ahead and use the sponge. So this is also the Fenty Beauty sponge. I just got it a little bit damp. The foundation is gonna be available in 50 different shades. It says it's good for normal to dry skin. It has a medium to full coverage. And when I look at my little notes here, it has serious staying power is one of the claims, and that it has a natural finish. So like I said, I have worn this in the past, like I've been testing it out the past just over a week, I think I would say. And I have been very excited about this because right away, did you like notice all of the redness that I had on my chin? I felt like when I first used this foundation, my breakouts were even worse on my chin at that time. And I felt like even with my normal amount of product that I use, which is usually about 2.5 pumps of foundation, is generally what I will pump out or dispense. I noticed that my redness really got covered up. I think that it also has a more natural finish, which again I do like for myself. So I'm going to try to bring a little bit down onto my neck too, because like I said, you can see that it's just a little bit light for me at this moment. This is what the foundation looks like blended out onto my skin. So again, I feel like the coverage is really nice on it because it really covered any of those, like the redness. I had like my nose was even just a little bit red. I feel like it really covered everything. So coverage is very nice on it. A little bit of this foundation will get you a long way. So I would recommend, if you do get it and you first go to try it out, like, think less is more when it comes to this foundation, because you can always add more and build it up if you want to. But I've made that mistake so many times with foundations that I've gone in too heavy-handed with it, and then it's like, oh gosh, then you look a little bit on the crazy side. So that's something that I would say with this foundation, that a little bit definitely does go a long way. You're gonna get really nice coverage with it, which is great. And I do like the natural finish to it. If you do like more of that natural finish, but you still like coverage, I feel like this is like hitting at those sweet spots, because sometimes I see it a little bit more with more of like dewy, luminous finish foundations. I feel like they don't last as long. Even on me with dry skin, I still feel like they can break up a little bit quicker. Sometimes I can see that with natural finish, but a lot of times if I'm like, I want really like full coverage and, you know, a staying power in a foundation, you typically get a really matte foundation. So to get more of this natural finish but also have a really good wear time on it and really good coverage that sticks around, that's pretty impressive. So so far I've been pretty darn impressed with this foundation. So again, I'll get you nice and zoomed in here. This is what the foundation is looking like right now. You can see it on my forehead here, and again on my chin, really covered up all that redness there. So this is what it looks like it's now 10:40 a.m. I'll do some check-ins throughout the day so you can see how it's holding up. And also I have been doing a challenge. I kicked off a challenge on August 1st. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I can link my kickoff video below. But because this video is kind of a little bit more chill, we're just going to be like hanging out throughout the day doing some check-ins, I'm going to incorporate the challenge into this video, so there's not going to be a second upload today if you guys are following that along. A lot of days I'm doing 2 uploads, but I'm actually going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup on camera too, and I will talk through the challenge during that time. So if you're interested in that, if you've been following along the challenge, I'm going to do that here shortly, so that way you can also see how my other makeup is applying over this foundation. So I just took a quick pause just to work a little bit and then get everything else kind of situated here that I'm going to use. So it's just 11:17, hasn't been too long. Really nothing has changed too much on my face, but like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup here on camera, so you can kind of see how everything goes on. And then I'm also going to chat about the challenge that I've been running. So again, if you missed it, this kicked off on August 1st, and we are just doing a 31-day challenge. I'm using my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. So we're doing a 31-day challenge in August. Kind of the focus is like being our best selves and that sort of thing. And each day I have a little goal or a little challenge for you. And I'm either uploading 2 YouTube videos a day at 9 o'clock and then the challenge video at 10 o'clock a.m. CST. Or if I have a video like this, I try to get ready with me that went up last Friday, that sort of thing, I can include it in this video. There's going to be some lives throughout the month. I'm doing some giveaways. The first one's already gone up. And I'm just really excited. Actually, when I took a little break here, I was actually going through my YouTube comments, and there's been so many comments in there of you guys just saying that you are joining the challenge, some of the goals that you've given yourself throughout the month, because that was, you know, one of our daily tasks was to write down some goals that we have. And it's also just really warmed my heart seeing how many people are commenting on other people's comments and really supporting one another, and, you know, just kind of giving motivation. That was one thing that I like was really hoping to see with this challenge, was kind of like the community aspect, and I feel like I've really seen that even already. And like I said, I'm filming this on Saturday, which is the 3rd day, so that just has me so very excited. So I will have my kickoff video linked down below. I will have a playlist now for all of the challenge videos, so I can link that also. I have some merch to go along with this, you know, just some like positive vibe shirts. And you know, one of the shirts that is selling the most right now is my community over competition, which is one of my favorite sayings, and that just kind of like blows me away that that one is like the bestseller right now, if you will. That makes me so very happy. So I think that that's amazing. And I created a calendar, so you guys, if you wanted to, you can get the calendar and download it, and that way you can see each thing that we're working on for each day. And then the YouTube video that goes up, that will kind of, you know, expand on it I'll explain maybe why I chose it, or you know, what I'm working towards on that particular day. But if you want it ahead of time, because that kind of ties in with today's little challenge or task, if you will, you can get ahead of time to see what it is that we're working on. Because so today, this video is going up, is going to be Monday the 5th. And that's what I have down for today, is just to wake up early. And like I said with this challenge, that I really want it to be your own and your individual thing. So maybe you're someone who you wake up early every day, like that's your thing, or you know, maybe you don't have a choice with your job or kids or something like that. You know, feel free to do something else from the calendar, or substitute in something else that would just work a little bit better for your lifestyle. Maybe instead it's going to bed a little bit earlier instead of staying up so late. Maybe it's going to sleep earlier. I'm just using my Fenty Pro Filt'r powder for this one. I'm just gonna set on my under eyes. I'm not going to set my face. I have set the foundation with powder and also not set it with powder, just to try to get an idea. And truly, I really didn't see a very big difference with that. I felt like it still just held up really well throughout the day. The first day that I wore it too, I didn't powder my face, because normally I don't if I'm trying to get an idea for the foundation. And then the next time I wore it, I did, and I really can't say that I saw much of a difference, because I feel like the foundation does have a really nice lasting power. But I do like to always set on my under eyes, so I'm just going to use the Fenty powder for that. So like I was saying, you know, maybe you've already downloaded the calendar early, which I think I started saying it, but I'll have the link to sign up for the newsletter that's just for the challenge, and I'll send out updates along the way. But once you sign up for that, you will get your calendar emailed to you so you can follow along. So maybe you already saw that, maybe you did wake up early today. Again, maybe it's going to be going to sleep a little bit earlier tonight, or you'll just substitute in something, maybe something to work on one of the goals you wrote down. I mean, really make this your own. This is just kind of a guide. And like I was saying, when I did it for myself in July, obviously each day was very specific to me, and especially towards the goals that I was working towards. And you know, this is just kind of a very wide guide, because a lot of different people were all in different places working towards different things, have our own individual needs. But I do think that sleep is very important. I really do. And I've noticed for myself that waking up early can just it can give me a different kind of motivation throughout the day. So I actually had it on my calendar from July. I chose 1 week and I said I wanted to wake up early every single day that week. So that was kind of how I did it in July. And it was crazy that by the time Friday rolled around, I truly felt like I had already developed this new habit of waking up early. And that felt awesome, because even if I woke up an hour early, it truly felt like I had added 3 more hours to my day. Like I was getting things done quicker. I was able to get to work a little bit faster, but I was able to do even more like stuff around the house. Like I was starting each day just going out into the kitchen, either putting dishes away from the night before, or maybe washing the dishes from the night before, emptying the dishwasher, something that like I feel like I'm kind of forced to hurry and do when we start making dinner the next night. It's like, oh no, there's still dishes out. I was being able to do that in the morning because I'd woken up early. I was getting outside quicker with my dog Aries. Like that week, because I can even remember telling my husband, like, I feel like I've added multiple more hours to my day just by waking up an hour earlier. I'm using my Makeup Forever contour that is in my current Shop My Stash for the month of August, and just doing a little bit of contouring here. And then I'm going to use my Tom Ford bronzer that is also in my current Shop My Stash, and I'm just using some Rephr brushes for this. I can link everything down below else that I'm using, but if you've been able to notice, I haven't had any issues with laying anything else over the foundation. Everything is still going on really smooth, which is awesome. And that's kind of my challenge. If you don't have the calendar, or you're just joining and you haven't seen the calendar, you know, maybe try to do it tomorrow. Maybe there's a day that works better for you, you know, with your schedule and your needs, you know, and you're like, okay, this is the day that I'm going to wake up early. And maybe it's not even to do anything. Maybe it's not to clean the house. Maybe it's not to get to work earlier. Maybe it's waking up an hour earlier and sitting outside by yourself, enjoying a cup of coffee or a water, or just chilling, being up early. You know, maybe it's something like that that would really help you. Again, really take this as just an informal guide and really do your own thing with it. So when I have a foundation that's a little bit light for me, I like to contour and bronze because I feel like it just kind of helps give a little bit of a double whammy here. And I like using a larger brush too for the bronzer. This is the 06 brush from Rephr, and just kind of really being generous with the bronzer. I like the Tom Ford one too because you can really like, it's a natural looking bronzer, like it's never going to be like too much on the skin, so even though like I'm working to build it up, it's still not like gonna go overboard. It's not going to be too heavy, which I like. So I feel like already we're starting to look a little bit more you know, technical terms. Blush, I'm also going to use a little bit of kind of like a bronzy blush. This is Lunar Has It from Colourpop and Kathleen Lights. I'm going to use my Rephr 04. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this one because like I said, it just kind of gives like this, also like a little bit more of like a bronze tone to the skin. Just a little bit of highlight today with the Colourpop Flexitarian, also in my Shop My Stash. I'm just going to use, oh, Colourpop Flexitarian, you never really let us go light, do you? So I'm just going to kind of blend that in the best I can with my finger. I just wanted to do something a little bit light and casual today, but man, if you want a blending highlight, Colourpop Flexitarian, she will bring it for you. I'm just gonna do a quick one eyeshadow look because I feel like that's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this second shade here in my Colourpop palette, which is Wait For It, and then the Segment E38, and I'm just gonna run that all throughout my crease and then also add it to my lower lash line. My husband got home from work and we are actually gonna do, we're gonna drive about an hour today to go to a store to get some more material for the fence. Where my husband is doing the fence ourselves in the yard, so Aries has a fence here out the new house. I'm gonna do for my eyes today, and yeah, so that's gonna wrap it up for day 5 of our challenge. And I hope you guys will let me know if you do that, or if you have any anything that you've noticed when you try to like wake up early. Do you feel like you get more done throughout the day? Do you feel like you're more energized? Also, it's not something that I can do every day. There are days where I'd like to sleep in. There's days where I like to stay in bed and have an extra cuddle with my dog. But if you just say, you know, 1 day a week, maybe 2 days this week, or maybe you'll do it like me where you're like, okay, this week every day, I don't know, it just kind of adds a little extra motivation to me. So that's gonna wrap it up for the challenge talk. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish my eyes off camera because I'm just gonna do some mascara and brows, and that's about it. But then I'll come back to do a check-in before we head out on the road so you can see how the foundation looks with everything on. Okay, so I have the rest of my makeup done except for my lips because I'm about to go eat some lunch, so I'll do my lips after that. I just have a balm on right now, but this is what the foundation is looking like with the rest of my makeup on. It's been on for about an hour now. The time is 11:41. So yeah, it's been on for about an hour. I try to wear this for as often as I can. Even though, like I said, I've already worn this foundation and I can give my actual review in here, I thought it would also be nice for you to be able to see the wear test on someone with dry skin and how it does hold up all throughout the day, see how it applies and all of that. Also, if I did not say, this foundation is going to be available on August 15th at fentybeauty.com and also at Sephora. So yeah, I did want to mention that as well, but I will come back and check in a few hours. Hey guys, so the time is 5:17 p.m. So the foundation's been on for just about 7 hours now. I'm filming just in front of my window. I don't have any lights on me, so this is just all a natural light, so you can see how the foundation is holding up. We did run an errand. We drove about an hour out of town, bought some stuff to complete our fence, and then we just drove back. We just got home. So I have had my sunglasses on, so you can see a little bit of like indentations there where I had my sunglasses on. But other than that, we were outside and it was pretty sweaty. It was 90 degrees today, and I was really trying to help my husband with all the fencing materials and such that we needed, so I got a good sweat on. But I feel like everything is still looking good. You can see a lot of that redness is still really covered. Like, I feel no need to touch up my chin. Everything is staying on pretty well. Bronzer Flexitarian is still showing pretty well. So yeah, so this is a 7-hour check-in in the natural light, so you can see how the foundation is holding up. I did want to say I also didn't spray my face. Generally, I will always use a setting spray because I love doing that step, but when I do a wear test, I typically do not. I don't use a powder on my face or a setting spray on my face, so we can see how it goes. So this is with no powder on my face besides what I did just on my under eyes with my concealer, and also no setting spray either. So again, this is a 7-hour check-in. I feel like it's holding up really well around my mouth. We did stop to get a late lunch, early dinner, if you will, but I feel even like my forehead, like nothing's sinking in anywhere. I still feel like it is holding up really well even after 7 hours. Heat, car rides, sunglasses, sweating, all of that. So it's a little check-in for you, and yeah, I'll check back in a few hours. Hello guys, so the time is now 8:19 p.m. So I've had this makeup on for about 10 hours now. It's been just about 10 hours. I do have my lights on now because we don't have any more sunshine right now, so do have some lights on me, but wanted to do another check-in so you can see how the foundation is holding up, trying to get you real close. So again, I still think it's holding up really well. I think at this time is when I can see a little bit of like some of my oils coming through on like my forehead and my chin, but not too bad, not anything to the point where I feel like I would even touch up. I don't typically powder throughout the day because even when sometimes like if my natural oils come through, it's usually not enough to make me even want to powder because I do typically have more dry skin. I have been outside quite a bit helping my husband doing some fence stuff and all of that, so been outside quite a bit and with my dog and whatnot, but I still feel like it's holding up really well. Again, I feel like not really breaking up in a lot of places. I'm like really trying to get you close in here. So yeah, I just wanted to share another check-in at 10 hours. Oh, brows are getting a little crazy though, Samantha. Let's just pretend that we can't see that. This is my 10-hour check-in. I'll come back in a little bit here to do my final update on this Fenty Hydrating Foundation. Hey guys, so I'm back for the final check-in. So it is 9:42 p.m. So I was trying to make it as close to 12 hours as I could. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's 9:40 on a Saturday night. It is my bedtime. I'm very tired, so I just want to wash my face and go to bed. But this is my final check-in for today, so you could see a full day wear test wearing the new Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Hydrating Foundation. So again, I still think that my skin is looking pretty good. My forehead, I do have some like oils here on my forehead, but I feel like everywhere else, everything is still holding up very well. Even my chin, I feel like the redness really hasn't changed that much from the last check-in that we did, and again, like I still feel fine with this. Like it faded a little bit throughout the day, but I still think that it looks pretty darn good. And everywhere else, try to get as close as I can here, I still feel like everything else is holding up really well. There's no weird like breaking up, there's no weird like going into my lines. It doesn't look or feel really heavy on my skin. This is what I'm looking like after about 11 hours of wear with the new Fenty foundation. But like I said, this is not a first impression. I have worn these in the past, so I can give my review and my thoughts. So for the foundation, I'm really pretty impressed with this. Each time I've worn it, I feel like it just really hasn't moved throughout the day. It's a foundation that I can put on in the morning and not really have to worry about it, and not have to worry about touching up or anything like that. So I've been really happy with that. I like that it's lightweight, yet you still get such a good amount of coverage. That very much impresses me. So I do appreciate that about it, and I really do like that natural finish to it. So far, this one gets a big thumbs up from me, which has me so excited. I can't even tell you guys how excited I am because I really didn't get on with the first foundation. And you know, I was even saying in my reviews, I have dry skin. This isn't what I typically go for. I just wanted to try it out because I was so excited about it. So I'm really, really happy. I do think that this would be good for normal to dry skin. I'm not so sure if you're oily. Again, I don't have oily skin, so it's always really hard for me to say. But even on me, with having pretty dry skin and having some of these oils come through, if you are oilier than me, you know, that might not work out for you. But again, their other foundation is for more of the oily skin from from what I've seen from the reviews, but really liking this foundation, really getting on with it. I also do like the primer. I think that it's a really nice kind of like smoothing primer, which I appreciate. I don't know if it will turn into like an absolute favorite. I've been playing with the foundation more than I have the primer, but I've worn the primer a couple times, and like I said, I think that it's a nice primer. I think that it does work really well in combination with this foundation too, so I do like this primer. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts, my review, my wear test on the new Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Hydrating Foundation. Again, these items are going to be available on August 15th. You'll have to let me know if you're planning to pick them up, if you're wanting to try them out. Let me know your thoughts on my wear test throughout the day. There was the challenge in here as well. If you guys are taking part of my challenge, let me know if you are doing today's challenge of waking up early. I'd love to know. Maybe you're going to do it later this week, but let us know your thoughts about the challenge down below, of course, too. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful to see this wear test. But other than that, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.